It's
Good evening. I'm Bill's mom, and you are skywalking through the league with Bill and Trey.
Thank you, Mom. Welcome back to another episode of Skywalking Through the League. I am your host, Bill Sheehy, and I'm joined, as always, by my Jedi partner in crime, Trey Mitchell. Trey, are you there? How you doing today, buddy?
That was amazing.
That was
I just want to
Leanne
say,
is the goat.
shout out Leanne. Shout out mom's name
Leanne.
Leanne. My mom's name is Leanne as well. Next time I'll have to drive to North Carolina and have her do the intro.
Absolutely.
But yeah, dude, you're looking like my Matt Murdock Funko Pop.
It's a good look. Listen, we've with the special episode we got going on today, I figured I'd look a little different. I'm in a different place if you can't really tell. I'm at my parents'
For
house.
our audio listeners.
For our audio listeners, thank you. I'm at my parents' house this week, so things are a little bit different. But we have some special guests today. First of all, we are joined by our good friend Sean. Oh, Sean, I'm so sorry I forgot your last name.
It's okay, man. You don't need to know it.
It's what? Okay, gotcha. Sean, you doing okay today, bud?
Yeah, man. I'm doing great. Happy to be here. Love talking about Star Wars, especially in podcast format.
Absolutely.
And I love Trey, my boy Trey, and Bill. You're Daredevil, so
Thank you. Appreciate
He really is Daredevil. Like
he really is, Matt.
Stop it.
I think you should cosplay as that at some point.
Honestly,
as jealous as I am, I could be Peter.
These
Yeah.
You
sunglasses
can be
were
Daredevil.
they were just sitting on my parents' table. So I just took
Dude,
them.
and you're in law.
I am apparently.
You work in law, so you're a really good lawyer. Catching
well,
breaks.
in a way.
He's
Yeah.
a really good boxer too.
Yeah.
Truly. And we are also joined by a last minute guest, which, you know, if you don't know this person, you should really follow them on Twitter.
Love you, Noah.
Alden Diaz. Are you there? Where is he? Look at
I
that.
am here. I am here. This is what
are you
happens
doing?
when I'm settling
doing?
in with a beverage. And
What are you
then
drinking?
I got some this is gin and ginger. My drink of choice as of late. Yeah, having a good time. I was freaking out, getting steamy about Mary Elizabeth Winstead,
Mhm.
and I thought I need a place to talk about it.
Absolutely.
Oh god.
This is
And
the
then
place.
here we are.
As Leanne said, Skywalking Through the League with Bill and Trey. This is the place to talk about it.
Leanne just put all of Star Wars Twitter to shame. That's how you
She did.
broadcast people.
That is. She's a legend in many regards.
I think she follows me on Twitter.
She does. She is. She knows
sorry.
what she's about, and it's Skywalking Through the League and Trey. Well, I'm so glad to be joined by such wonderful friends. We've got a lot to talk about today. So, if you don't know, we originally had planned for the discussion today to happen yesterday, but due to some technical difficulties,
Shout out Spectrum.
Spectrum.
Just having
I
their
don't have
whole city
Best
shut
streaming
down with
service.
Wi-Fi.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's so fun.
it. Totally fine. We actually transitioned our episode yesterday to a more of a tipsy takes edition of Skywalking Through the League, where we're all drinking. I mean, we're usually drinking, but we've been drinking a little bit more.
My third.
But we'll be talking about the last two episodes of Book of Boba Fett in the Polynesian Spa of Fun. But before we get into that,
I like your glass, Bill.
thank you.
For those listening, he has a very Star Wars glass. It's very
This
I could see some exquisite people in the galaxy drinking out of that.
I scrounged through my grandmother's china cabinet to find this because I wanted something special. Did you just meet Trey? Thank you, Charlie. I appreciate.
Shout out Charlie.
I don't think Charlie's ever. I don't think I've seen him in the comments before. Charlie, welcome, buddy.
It's the Alden effect.
That is totally.
Yeah, I draw my ravenous fans. Just Charlie.
So the ravenous fan that is.
Yeah, that glass, to your point, Trey, it looks like something like Dryden Voss would drink out of.
That was my first thought. Yeah, Dryden Voss.
Well,
Forgot his name.
In the spirit of Dryden Voss, let's drink two and go from there. Kelly, what's up?
Kelly
Many people
Knox.
today. Look at
Delightful.
us.
That was a lot of people.
Yeah, before we get into
Trey.
the Book of Boba Fett discussion that we will
Mhm.
get into a little bit later, I want to talk about some major news that just broke literally an
Yes.
hour ago before we started recording.
Let us.
So as all of us know, there's an Ahsoka show coming out 2023, I think is the supposed release date.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Dave Filoni's behind it, and we actually just got our some big casting news where the Hollywood Reporter is officially reporting that Mary Elizabeth Winstead, wife of Obi-Wan Kenobi himself, or partner of Obi-Wan Kenobi himself, Ewan McGregor, is joining the Ahsoka series. There's obviously not a whole lot of information about who she'll be playing, but she is a wonderful, wonderful actress. And I think that there's a lot of speculation about who she could possibly be playing. And Alden, you actually posted something on Twitter a little bit earlier.
Me
that
on Twitter?
Yeah, I know. Who knew?
No.
That I think is really, really interesting. So let's start with who do you think she's going to be playing? And do you if she's not who you think she's playing, are you just excited to have her in Star Wars?
Yeah, so on that level of just her being cast for this, I mean, of course, there's the humor, like, you know, of these two actors that a lot of us grew up with Ewan in the prequels, and then Mary Elizabeth Winstead doing things like Sky High and Scott Pilgrim, and then other roles throughout the years, like in Death Proof and stuff like that. And the fact that they come together, they're new parents, they just had a baby together. And Ewan's not a new parent, but it's their first baby together. And then it's like, hey, babies are expensive. You should do a Star Wars too. Like, that's almost what it feels like. And I love her. I think she's so charming. Mm-hmm. She's so effortlessly cool. Like Huntress really showed a lot of that in Birds of Prey. And
yes,
extremely excited for her.
Birds of Prey supremacy.
Birds of Prey supremacy.
I've liked her in everything she's done since Final Destination 3. Like, she was so good at I feel like I'm the only person that likes Final Destination 3 and likes her specifically. In
3
that
has
movie.
The tanning bed kill.
Yep.
Right.
Yes, it does.
Yeah. Hell yeah. I'm with you on 3.
3. That was the roller coaster one where like
starts with the roller coaster, has the tanning bed. I think it ends like in a Home Depot.
This is modded Bill, modded / Matt Murdock Bill, but I think that she is just such an incredible actress that just having her in Star Wars, I think, you know, I think a lot of people talk about like, you know, what actors would you like to see in Star Wars, and you know, there's been
Tommy Wiseau is a big one for me.
Yeah, exactly. Tommy. Oh, high ground.
Hi, Geode.
Oh, hi, Geode. Yeah. I just think having talented actors in Star Wars, regardless who they are, even I often hear the criticism that like you don't want an actor that's too big in Star Wars. No, if they're a talented actor, bring them in. And I think that she's just a talented actor. Sean, who are you expecting her to play? And are you excited to see her?
Yeah, of course. Expecting her to play maybe like an Imperial character. That would be very interesting. All I want is Edgar Wright to direct the episode that she's in. That would be that would be special.
And he's like a step away from it at all times. He's friends with all those guys. And he's in Last Jedi.
With and he could easily be in it. I mean, another cameo from Edgar Wright.
Yeah, that's really interesting. I didn't even think about. I also didn't even pin her to maybe be a villain, because we've seen like with Gideon, like this time period, there's all those holdouts that didn't get to go form the First Order.
Yeah,
could be very interesting.
Speaking of people we didn't necessarily think about, we have another special guest.
Oh
no.
Oh, there he is. Look at him. This has become
This is the portal scene.
It truly is.
On your left. I was talking in the chat and everything too. Look at that.
On your left, it's our good friend.
On your left. Yeah, on your right, Alden. I think actually, but it's
my
left.
left looking at it. My right physically.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Absolutely.
So,
This is
Jerry,
great.
welcome. So, as of right now, we are talking about Mary Elizabeth Winstead being in the Ahsoka series, and we've talked a little bit about who we'd like to, see her play in that series. Do you have any hopes for who you want her to be, or are you just excited to see her in it? Who do you think she's going to play, and what's your excitement level for her being in it?
Well, honestly, I have no clue who she's going to be playing. I like Alden, you posted earlier about Leia, like post Return of the Jedi. I think that would be incredible. I'm just excited that Mary Elizabeth Winstead is in this because I've had a crush on her since I worked at a movie theater and saw her in like Sky High, right?
We were just
Like-
talking about that.
Right.
Final Destination 3.
I would say I was listening to y'all backstage, just man, those and like yeah, and I worked there also whenever we had Final Destination 3, and man, it's just like I don't know, man. She's a fantastic performer. She is going to bring. It doesn't matter who she's going to be to me because I'm just excited that she's going to be in there. She could be someone new. She could be a new mod. She could be Darash's sister or something, you know. But yeah, no, I'm just over the moon excited.
She's one of those
for her.
people that makes good things great and makes not good things
Yes.
watchable. Like I
Yeah.
think that movie she did on Netflix is a Kate. I don't think that the story really comes together, but my God, she just effortlessly carries you through the movie. She almost has, like, to keep it in the Star Wars terminology, she has like a Harrison Ford quality. She's just effortlessly like smirky cool.
Definitely.
Truly, and she is probably the one person, like, adult actress that I could like genuinely see as Leia Organa. Like,
Yeah.
once you mentioned that, Alden, like, I was like, of course she could do that. I feel like she would do. I think she would do justice to Carrie, and I think that it's something. She's somebody that would just honor her legacy and do so in a new and exciting way.
I also
Trey,
feel like TV is safer. Oh, go
Yeah.
ahead.
Yeah.
to
no,
do
no,
something
no,
like that.
absolutely, no. Make your point.
Oh, I was just gonna say, like, yeah, I mean, like, if they said we're going to do, I don't know, Star Wars, the Skywalkers, a Star Wars story in theaters, and you were recasting Leia and Luke, I think it would be similar to the Solo detractors, but maybe even worse, especially given Carrie's passing, because at least with Solo, it was like, it's a decade prior, like, going further down the timeline is harder for people to swallow than backwards. I mean, we saw, like, Ewan himself is a backwards version of a classic performance. He is the prequel version. Now he's going to be the grizzled version. We would come full circle. But I think that on a streaming service, it'll be easier for people to accept that. Maybe this, especially because it's not Leia's show on Disney Plus. If it's
Right.
Ahsoka with Hayden's ghost sort of tying it together, and then you have that clash, because my whole idea behind it is that everybody wants to see Anakin and Ahsoka talk. Makes perfect sense.
Right.
It should happen. Everyone, then 1B is wanting to see Luke and Ahsoka talk, because I can tell you about your father. But 1C is the one of the two siblings that probably would be way more contentious about it. Like, yeah, it's really great that you saw Dad turn back. It's really great that you had all these good times with him. I had nothing but horrible times with him.
Right.
And then he
And-
died. Like,
And going off your point of, like, when Alden was playing, and he could still play Han again, like, he had Harrison Ford, like, saying, "Oh my God, he did such a great job," and so, like, I think that kind of endorsement helps a lot.
it's the same with Abrams's Trek cast.
Right.
They had Leonard Nimoy in the movie.
They
to
had
do that.
they had that endorsement. I think I don't think the closest you could probably get is Billy Lord, maybe, but, like, it's still, like, if she was going to do it, I think it'd be difficult, but I think she'd knock it out of the park. Trey, where do you stand on this?
I have a love-hate relationship with Alden, because I'll, like, see a tweet that Alden has, and I'm like, God damn it, why didn't I think of that? Like, I was, like, seeing people tweet about her maybe being Hera. And I was like, oh, I like that.
Which
And
I
then
love. I do love
and
that.
then I like that. and then I see Alden over here just talk about freaking Leia, and I'm like, damn it, that makes too much sense. Like, why didn't I think about that? She has
It
the
just feels
gravitas
like-
to be Leia, and very few actors
Yes,
do.
the gravitas, the swagger. I think that's somewhere between her different roles with a healthy element of that huntress, that badassery, and everything. Like you meant this, this comment right here, bloodline. Her whole thing is hiding this. Luke was able to confront it. Leia, for the betterment of the galaxy, her own family, everything. It's not a cowardly choice. It was a logical choice to not tell the galaxy who her dad was and stuff. Obviously, it blows up, and that leads into Ben's story. But I think it's something that should be explored. I think that we know when Jedi Leia was, because it was pre baby Ben's birth. So it was in that first year after Jedi. So if we meet her here in the Ahsoka series, she will have already picked up and put down the sword. So that's interesting.
We have one more opinion that I need to know about this.
Okay.
And it is another special guest at the Charlie Ashby.
On your left, there he is.
no.
Look at him.
This
I'm
is
leaving.
this
First
is more
time on
ambitious
Skywalking
than-
through the league. Charlie, welcome,
night.
buddy. Well, so happy to have you, bud.
Yeah, I had to interfere because you got
It's
a very
not interference.
controversial
You're
guest
welcome
on.
No.
anytime. Like you're just come on.
England has 10
anytime you
people
want.
max.
Typical
So
of
as long-
England
Yeah.
to just show up where it's not invited and take over.
Well, I was here to demonstrate your point, Alden. Look, you got your lovely Leia.
Oh.
Yeah, let's act it out.
We're gonna get like a storyboard here.
Hey,
Like,
Mary.
what's action figures?
Mary, do you want to be in my show?
Yeah.
You could be in my show.
Can you just
I
can
really,
you just zoom?
yeah, I really just
Can
enjoy
you just
it,
zoom in on that box of Filoni, just the box art again, because it's
Yes.
The
special.
box art? Yeah,
Oh,
look at that.
Look at him.
What a man. What a
And
beautiful,
hair they
beautiful
gave
man.
him. Phenomenal. It's
The hair is just because it's under. He hides that glorious mane under the cowboy hat. I mean, I guess now just like a cap and everything. Like, but man, that is fantastic.
Whenever I see a picture of Dave Filoni, I think of his interview with Ash Crossan, where he just she asks him like a question about, I forget who was showing up, but like he just says very, very interesting, very, very interesting.
Yeah, interesting.
And that's like
That
every
was
time I
actually
see him,
about Boba Fett.
Yep.
Which is the
Very
irony. is that
interesting.
we've come
very,
around so
very
much.
interesting. Absolutely.
In fact, we have a group chat, and I think I sent Alden this meme tonight of I gave Filoni the red laser eyes with the caption "Interesting intensifies."
That's true. And when I had Ash on Octo Radio, Star Wars podcast, available wherever you get your shows.
Check it out if you haven't already. Alden is wonderful.
No,
Check
no,
it
no.
out.
It's
all
not a
right.
real
He's all
plug,
right.
not a real
I
plug.
will listen. I will plug you
later.
in.
Format.
I'm trying. What Ash said, about interviewing guys like Dave Filoni and Kevin Feige, like you have to go in as a professional knowing that you're gonna get nothing, so you just have to have fun. Like
Yeah.
you just have to have fun. You're trained to ask questions that they are trained not to answer. So at that point, it's like you get a good meme out of it, a good Filoni gif, then you call that a win.
Well,
Because they're both fans. It's like a chess game
right.
Mhm.
on their side and your side.
And that's the
So-
other aspect. I love that you said that, because everything we're talking about, Trey, you brought up the push for Hera that's happening right now. We're talking about Leia. It could be an original character, like Sean was saying, some sort of like a Gideon, like a lingering Imperial. All of these things are coming through the lens of like what that creator
Leia's
wants.
mom or Rey's mom.
Ray's mom. of
Yeah, Ray's
course.
mom. Please let her be
Ray's
Ray's mom.
Ray's mom.
Even though that was already cast.
Even
Well,
though
if-
Jyn Erso was Ray's mom, so you know,
Yeah.
Obviously.
obviously everyone knows that.
I was
Yo.
briefly on one of those clowns that was like, Del Miko and Iden are Ray's parents. Has to be. Because the Last Jedi DLC came out right before the movie. That was back when we thought that stuff was going to connect way harder than it did.
Right.
But yeah, I think that all of this is through the lens of the creator. And for Obi-Wan, it's going to be run by Deborah Chow, so you sort of have an idea of what you're going to be getting for her style. Filoni's style is channeling all eras.
Mhm.
He's the connector.
Right.
Filoni gave you a scene that had original characters, a character who started in animation, with Luke Skywalker, all sort of meshing every era together. I think this show I put on the Sabine jacket tonight because we're getting live action Sabine in that show,
Mhm.
allegedly.
So
These are
good.
all allegedly, reportedly,
Definitely.
exclusive reports type stuff, of course. It's shout out to Kristen Baver. It's not official until Kristen Baver says it.
That's true. That's true.
But
Charlie,
still.
and I don't think you've said anything about Mary Elizabeth Winstead being cast. Are you excited just to see her? Do you have a preference of who you'd like to see?
Is he excited to see her?
I mean,
could
like
be a
I know that's
droid,
just like
my
that's a
friend,
redundant
and I
question because we're all excited, but like, what would you like to see Leia? Do you want her to be something completely new? What about her makes you excited to see her in Star Wars?
Yeah, I liked Alden's point. I liked his thread about the Leia stuff. I'm a big fan of the idea of Billy Lord playing Leia, just because I just think that it'd be nice to have that. But I can see it both ways. I wouldn't be like complaining on the internet, dear Twitter, how dare you ruin my idea of what it could be. So yeah, I don't know. Character-wise, I have no idea. All I want desperately from this series now, though, is for there to be a sequence, because we're assuming Hayden's playing Ghost Anakin, right?
Yes.
As opposed, because he might play Flash. We could see flashbacks of the like Clone Wars, but I prefer to see post Episode 6 Anakin talk to Ahsoka and like deal with that, because there's a lot of drama there. Basically, like they have to deal with the fact that he's redeeming himself. He's got to move forward in his like ghost life, I suppose. And there's a lot of tension there and a lot of rebuilding to be done. But I also kind of really want there to be sequences where Hayden pops in as Anakin. They have conversations. And then we have a conversation where maybe Ahsoka is talking with Mary Elizabeth Winstead's character. And then Obi-Wan shows up and goes, hello there. And then he looks at Mary Elizabeth Winstead and goes, hello there. And he just like, he goes, I haven't seen you on this log before.
Charlie, listen, I don't know if it's
his
the Englishness of how you just said that, but that was dead on. Like it felt right. I really did appreciate that. That was the best Obi-Wan impression I've heard in a long time, and absolutely, a long time. Yes, even though there's something, as an Irishman, there's something that makes me deeply resent any English person.
I'm quarter Irish, so I feel like
okay, that's fine. As long as you have a quarter in there. But yeah, I think it's really exciting, man. Like it feels. There are actors when I hear them, like if they're involved in a project, I immediately get excited, and she's one of those one of those actors. And by the way, our special guests that are here, if at any point you need to leave, bow out, do what you have to do, plug what you want to, and then just duck. But we'd love to have you guys as long as you'll stay with us, because we've got a lot to talk about. And now that we've kind of talked about the Mary Elizabeth Winstead of it all, I'd like to transition a little bit into the meat and potatoes of this episode, which is talking about episodes 3 and 4 of the Book of Boba Fett. I've kind of been the first 2 episodes. I wouldn't call me a hater. I think what I had was some residual like. I said many times before Boba showed up in the book in the Mandalorian that I thought Boba Fett was the most overrated Star Wars character of all time. I think
you were correct.
Yeah, and I think Bando, for me, that the episode that Robert Rodriguez directed last in the second season of The Mandalorian.
The best episode of The Mandalorian?
Yes. Honestly, I don't think that's a stretch to say at all.
It's a real tragedy that it's not considered the best one.
It is the tragedy. Some would say it is the tragedy. I'm
trying desperately to think of a
pun for that.
Totally.
Totally.
I was like, really? Well, you aren't going to turn me into a believer.
No, that's
something. Chapter 13.
There you go. Perfect. Exactly.
Getting like such a child.
Yeah.
It would be
so maybe the marshal of this conversation here.
Man, this has just become pun hour, hasn't it?
We got a laugh out of Kelly.
There you go. That's how you.
That means everything.
But my point was that I don't think Boba Fett really meant anything to me until that episode, until the tragedy, and I think that my not dislike, but my just kind of menace for the first 2 episodes of Book
Your
of Boba
Phantom
Fett.
Menace?
I was gonna say no one else
going.
did.
I'll mute. I'm gonna
Well,
eat my
Alden,
pizza.
it's been great.
I'm
No, I'm kidding. Please stay. I think these last 2 episodes have done a lot to really get me more engaged into the series. I think this has been a really, really good it's really good setup, I think. But I kind of want to start with Charlie, since you showed up last. I kind of want to get where you are on these last 2 episodes of Book of Boba Fett, and kind of on the series as a whole. Let's start with your thoughts on episodes 3 and 4 of the Book of Boba Fett, and then give your overall thoughts on it. So where are you on the Book of Boba Fett right now?
Obviously, I'm not biased at all.
Okay, gotcha.
Boba Fett is an interesting character, obviously. No, I've really enjoyed the series. It's funny, I think I talked about this a bit on ISP, which is the idea that growing up, I was a massive Boba Fett fan. I had one of my first ever Lego sets was the original Lego set for the Slave One. I love the character. I loved it growing up. Jango Fett, Boba Fett, everything about those, like that design, learning more about it and Attack of the Clones. I just loved it. And I think when I became a teenager, there's a general apprehension of the character. Like, he's overrated. Nobody cares about him so much. So I kind of like kept a down low on it and sort of pushed it down and didn't really focus on him as a character much, which I really regret, actually. And that's why I'm grateful for The Mandalorian for letting me be myself and being like, you know what? Who cares? Of course, he's a silly goose of a character. Like, he makes mistakes. He misses.
Boba Fett, the silly goose.
But
he's the silliest little goose in the Star Wars universe.
He's the silliest Kaminoan goose there is.
That's true.
And I just love seeing him mess up and make mistakes, but also learning. And I think what's really great about what we're doing with the Book of Boba Fett is that they're actually focusing on the core aspects of the character that nobody else is really focused on, which is that this is an orphan. This is a kid who lost his dad at a very young age. And I think it's I know people say it's not in the script, they don't say it out loud. Well, not all stories have to say everything out loud in particular, otherwise what's the point of storytelling? And I think what's great about this series is that you have to remember these facts, which is that his dad died. That's traumatizing. Even
one.
That's a horrible thing. Okay. 2, he was left by himself, so he finds a new family. That family happens to be Bosk, Aura Singh, and a lot of other people that aren't very great, who teach him something else. He then learns another lesson from the Jedi and Mace Windu. So he's like, okay, I have to have a set of morals here. But I'm also in this galaxy that doesn't have anything for me. What I have to do is I have to make my living, like my dad. Jango Fett is a character who himself was a foundling, so he was brought up by the Mandalorians, who by themselves as a culture, who are very imperialistic and contradictory. The foundlings on one half are looked at as, no, you're Mandalorians. And then on the other half, you've got the familial territories of where they're like, no, you have to be in the family line to get the armor, and you're a proper Mandalorian. People like Bo-Katan, they're like people who had like the ancestry for years. They've had this for so long. Whereas you have people like the foundlings who are just different cultures that come in, become Mandalorians. Jango Fett literally fought in the Civil War. And then once he did that, they were like, yeah, but you're a bounty hunter, so we don't really care for you that much. And you're discrediting us a little bit, so you're not really a Mandalorian anymore. Mm-hmm. He's been disregarded by his people. So he's like, okay, I'm not a Mandalorian then. I wouldn't say that. So Boba has to live with that. And then you have the other aspect of, for Jango, the cloning thing was just a job for him. Like, the ultimate job, really. Like, look, we just want to borrow your face. And if you teach these people for a bit, we'll give you billions of dollars. And he's like, oh, yeah, of course I'll take that. And we'll give you a son that you've always wanted. Okay, cool. What actually happens is that his face becomes the physical representation of imperialism across the galaxy. Because the clone troopers are the Empire, right? So everyone looks at his face and his father's face as the structure that sort of disregarded him in a way, and especially Mandalore. If you think about the Mandalorians, the stormtroopers took over Mandalore, the Empire took over Mandalore. All of that was because of the clone army, kind of, in a sense, because they went through on the Siege of Mandalore. So, to their point of view, people with his face are like enemy number one, plus the top of everything else. So, this is a really interesting character who has no family. So, no wonder that in episode 6, he's like, oh, whatever, like I'll do whatever you want. I'll chase this douchebag across the galaxy, whatever. Then he wakes up with the Tuskens, and he's like, okay, I need to become a better person. And that's what I think is interesting about this series, is that exploration of that detail. And yeah, I don't think he's a bad character. I think he's been mishandled by the galaxy in the circumstances that he put in. That's a very long explanation, but I'm very I love this character.
No, I appreciate in what's interesting to me is that as you're describing him, he's an orphan who's no father, lost his family. Who does that sound like? Luke Skywalker.
Exactly.
Rey. Like it's just like so you have a lot of similarities between some of our favorite characters in Star Wars, and I think it's just so interesting that you combine that with his backstory. I think Tamara Morrison is killing it as Boba Fett. Like he's making me care about this character in a way that I didn't think was possible. Now, Sean, I want to throw it to you. It's kind of similar question. You know, are you feeling that same connection? Did you like Boba Fett before the show, or is it making you appreciate Boba in a new way? And then, of course, are you liking the series so far, episodes 3 and 4?
Yeah. I've always been a fan of Boba Fett since I've watched Empire Strikes Back. So Clone Wars is what like really made me like him. I guess like that actually know that he is a character, and then I think Force Unleashed really like solidified it because like the short scenes, the short scenes he has in it like made me love Boba Fett.
Okay,
as a little kid, right? And then growing up, I learned to just like him. He's just there,
and so
appreciate him more.
And just for a little, you're 21, I think you were telling me before, correct? And so you were playing The Force Unleashed when you were, God, when did that come out?
Like 8 years old.
2011.
You were 8 years. So like.
Or 11,
you knew who Boba Fett was before, but then seeing him as an 8-year-old in The Force Unleashed, it kind of solidified in your mind that okay, this character is really cool. Go from there.
He had a minor role, but like just seeing him, and it's something weird, as a kid versus me as an adult now. The way it impacted me then, like it kind of made me like Mandalorians in the first place. Just seeing him in that. Not even his appearance in Empire Strikes Back or Return of the Jedi was as mysterious as Force Unleashed for me. So when I watched Clone Wars and realized that he actually had a character arc and a story, and that he's every single clone, when I didn't really understand the movies when I was like a little 5-year-old kid when I watched Revenge of the Sith in theaters. But then when I realized he has a whole story, and that, especially now that I love the parallels how he grew up in Camino, surrounded by clones who grew up with him, and a water planet, and now that he's on Tatooine, surrounded by Tuskens that look like him, and he's on a desert planet. I just love that parallel, and his character now, especially because the Book of Boba Fett is, extremely complex, nuanced. I love what they've done with Boba Fett so far, especially Mandalorian.
I got you. Alden, what do you think so far?
The look that Alden just gave.
If you could give me a little more side, I want blue steel. Give it to me. Here, look, there it is. Oh,
shit. Can you add one more thing? Can you say you rang?
Listen, I'm just like Camino because I am soaking wet. Oh, I'm sorry.
He's a few drinks in. People, don't worry.
Listen,
his mother Leanne is right off
camera.
Ready
literally in the other room.
Mom's. Hi, mom. Yeah,
Mama, turn off the podcast. Please.
And this is Bill. But yeah, so much of everything that has been said by Sean, by Charlie, by everybody about the character, about his sort of influence and recontextualization is fascinating to me. I'm obsessed with the way that things in Star Wars are recontextualized over time. I'm obsessed with the way that even I feel things get misremembered, like Han Solo being misremembered in American, especially American popular culture, as being this roguish badass when he does badass things but he is a goofball that will always choose friendship. How does Boba Fett then get recontextualized with things like that? He gets recontextualized with like he cares about big animals. It's a very relatable and like very adorable and endearing trait because he cares about the wretched. Fate sometimes steps in to rescue the wretched. I've been saying this and on every show that will allow me to say it, is that line in the tragedy telegraphed the entire arc of the Book of Boba Fett, and it recontextualized everything that had led Boba Fett up to this. At the Petronaki Arena on Geonosis, he becomes the wretched, this orphan who in the first act of war, he's like the first one that loses in the Clone Wars. Boba Fett is the first family to experience loss in the Clone Wars are the Fetts. And for him then to come all this way.
I don't think...
Please.
How you were able to like make me think of things that I like. Of course, I hate it.
It's because I'm still here in the drink.
Okay.
When I get to here,
I am here, and then but like
what Bill's trying to say,
the third or
what Bill's trying to say is he's sending you his therapy bills from now on.
I am.
And
That's
everything,
truly
because of the sadness there. Yeah.
Look, I'm just saying, if you're willing to pay,
okay.
I don't have the degree, but I will succeed.
Okay, I appreciate that.
You through it. But yeah, so it's like
Amazing
everything that he
here.
does is
if y'all don't if y'all don't mind me asking real quick, my mother has just entered the room.
Yeah.
Mom, have you been watching Book of Boba Fett? I haven't. You have not. Well,
She can't be on the show then. I mean,
she gonna
I'm sorry. You have been voted off. Sorry, Leanne, if that is your real name.
God, Leanne.
God, Leanne. Anyway, sorry.
Awesome.
Keep going, Alden. She walked.
But no,
in.
I love when people watch with their families and parents and stuff. I was saying on a recent episode of my show that my stepdad, who's like only seen the original trilogy, like back in the day, he just loves to watch streaming shows. He just loves them. He'll watch anything. This man watched The Tomorrow War on Amazon Prime like 20 times over the past year. Like if he's bored, he just watches something streaming. And so he watched all The Mandalorian because of his casual love of Star Wars. And he was asking like all the casual questions that just make your heart sing, you know, that you're just like, this is what it would be like if I was free of discourse, if I was free of everything. Like, so it puts it back into perspective. Definitely.
I got you.
But yeah, with Boba though, being the wretched all the way up until being rescued by the Tuskens, that they are fate. They are the fate stepping in. Then he gets to be that for Fennec. Then they get to be that for the Gamorreans and the Mods and Chrysanthemum and Rancor Cav. And like, they are, it's culminating in this defensive force, as he calls it in this most recent episode. I want to form a defensive alliance to stop the Pikes, which is not coincidentally the same threat that ruined his salvation 5 years prior, post Jedi, or somewhere in that 5-year gap. So it's all coming to a head in a really interesting way. And with the musical tease of Din Djarin showing up, it just makes me, and Danny Trejo, very important. Which is the other thing. Danny Trejo does that whole speech about the Rancor, but he's talking about Boba Fett. Everything that he says about the Rancor is Boba Fett.
And mentioning Danny Trejo, like how none of us called it before, like Robert Rodriguez is doing it. Of course he would.
Charlie did.
Come on. Oh, okay. Well, then Charlie, you are way smarter than I am. I that's
look. I would have sued Lucasfilm if Danny Trejo did not make an appearance. Mm-hmm. There's one thing saying Danny Trejo in Star Wars. That's one thing. Yeah. Making him a Rancor keeper though, and making him
makes so much sense, doesn't it?
Just like, making him say the line, "The witches of Dathomir." Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, well, here's my money, I guess.
That's all you need. And I speaking of Danny Trejo, because I think that he was definitely my favorite part of episode 3. He showed up in episode 3, correct? Like that's yeah. I kind of want to dive into what have been our favorite moments from these last 2 episodes. Because like I said earlier, I think for me, it's been, it's really good setup for where they're going to go the last three or four episodes. But what moments have stood out to you from these two episodes? And let's start with Jerry, and then go around, and then I want to get into a little bit of the discourse around this, because George Lucas famously said that Star Wars is for 12-year-olds, and Star Wars Twitter confirms that every day. So Jerry, what's been your favorite moments or moments from episodes 3 and 4?
Well, I mean, we just talked about Danny Trejo showing up. I mean, the moment he shows up and how he shows up, I mean, I watch these things at like 3 a.m. before I have to go to work on Wednesday, just so I don't, so I can get it in and, not get spoiled. And the obscenities that I yell at 3 a.m. are I'm just hoping that I'm not keeping anybody out. Like, I'm not waking up any small children in my complex. But that was a big moment that stood out to me and everything. And I'm honestly like, Charlie, I know you said you're gonna sue. You were gonna sue if he didn't show up. I will sue if his name is just not Danny Trejo. Just there's just, we don't know the character's name yet. Just make it Danny Trejo. He can just exist.
D apostrophe A-N-N-Y.
Yeah, Danny. Yeah, Danny Trejo. Yeah. But anyway, honestly, a big moment also that I really loved from the most recent one, chapter 4, is that whole Sarlacc pit sequence that I was talking about on Bombay Cast last night. Felt like something out of Star Tours a little bit.
Yeah.
And got me upset for half a second, because I thought that I thought there was some special edition erasure happening there, because we didn't see the beak. But when the beak showed up, I calmed down. And
Jerry, you're a big beak guy.
Down the
is what I'm
phone.
getting from that.
Yeah, I love me some beaks. Yeah,
Only real men could find the beak.
Hot.
Yeah, hey, it was there. Yeah. So that's anyway.
You got that.
Yeah, no, just more. I don't know, like the whole sequence with their Finnick dropping onto the glass and everything, and just how that it just all felt like I want to see that in. I want to see that in like a ride sequence or something.
Yeah.
I want to watch that in VR.
Totally.
I feel like that would just be really cool. But anyway, yeah. No.
Trey, what's been your favorite moment from episodes 3 and 4?
Boba's sitting there having a campfire, eating a frog, and he looks over to his bantha and he goes, "Hey, bro, you want some? I'm gonna give you some frog." And that is so
Bantha's
beautiful.
like, "Oh, hell yeah."
I love it. He's like, you know what? I should feed my friend. He frees his friend, and then he tells his friend, "Go out. Don't just live. Go out and have some bantha babies. I want you to have a life. I want you to become the person that you should be." And that little characterization of Boba, just beautiful. I love when he's petting his new Rancor.
Oh, Charlie
is showing.
I'm not.
I'm take it down for
right now.
sexually explicit images.
I'm not sure we're allowed to show porn on this pod, but
Don't invite me and Alden and Jerry.
Yeah.
That bantha could also find beak. Just saying.
That's true.
Down
Standing
path of the
invitation stands. So just bring porn whenever you want to. But keep going, Trey. Sorry.
This is a great episode, guys. And I mean that. But
Your poor mother.
Yeah, she's
shut up, Leanne.
She's around here somewhere.
Whatever. Leanne hasn't even watched the episodes. Okay.
Not yet. It's all good. We'll be fine. Keep going.
I guess just the small character moments with Boba are what are my favorite, because I think growing up I saw Boba Fett as just this kind of menacing. Everything about Boba was from how he looked, not how he acted to me. He was the character that guy in school that you didn't really that liked Star Wars but didn't really like Star Wars. He was a big Boba Fett guy, and you kind of didn't really like him because you But anyways, so Boba Fett now is just he's a real character, and I think that's what I like most about this show is the evolution of Boba, and just showing him. This is an interesting comment we got here.
Hey, thanks.
Boop's here for the roast.
Boop. I do what I can.
But so just kind of ending what I'm saying. My favorite moments in this show so far are just Boba getting to grow as a character, and just seeing him as a real person.
Right. Sean, what about you? What you can do overall, favorite moments of the series, specifically talking about episodes 3 and 4. Okay, gotcha.
Good
That's all you
choice.
need
When
to
I heard
know.
that voice, that was it. That was it.
That was it. Okay.
And then the General Grievous kitchen droid. too.
Yeah.
Chef Grievous.
Yeah.
is my
Gino
favorite.
Grievous.
I like
Yeah, and
Ormond,
Grievous more than I
everything
ever
with Jabba's
Love
palace, the
Child.
little droid from the Clone Wars. I forgot the name of it.
the rat
That
catcher.
little one that Boba Fett's like, I
Yeah,
am
the little
Boba
bunny
Fett
one.
too. Yeah.
That and that was a moment that the moment I saw that I was like, oh, the dude like the Phantom Menace people are not going to like that at all, like
Yeah.
even a little bit, which is
Yeah.
like why I love it even more.
That droid really worked in live action. Like it really,
Yeah.
I
transferred
can't
over
believe
really
that
well.
Like
Totally.
crazy.
Yeah.
Dave Filoni is like, let me put that in live action, and
Yeah.
everything he's done with live, like from Lothcats to Ahsoka to this.
Mhm.
There's not been a single. He's never missed, honestly.
Mhm.
But yeah, chapter 2, everything from chapter 2.
Everything from
the
chapter
Tusken
2.
Raider, the Tusken Raider dance at the end.
Yeah.
My favorite part of the whole show
Yeah.
so far. That like it speaks for itself, right?
I think we mentioned this in our last episode where we broke down episodes 1 and 2, but like just there's something about the Mando, like the Mandalorians that are really kind of humanizing and making us look at the
By the throat.
Boba
too.
Fett.
That's so
Yes,
intense.
I am Boba Fett. There's something about the Mandalorians that is doing a really good job of humanizing the Tusken Raiders, like in a way that we just have not seen before.
Yeah.
Which I think is really, really important because like I think that they've just been kind of characterized as just what
They haven't
you
been
wouldn't
people in Star Wars. They've been
Yeah.
animals.
exactly,
Yeah,
which
I love that
I think is
they
really
took
important.
right, and they take that trope of indigenous tribes and they make it with Timur Morrison being indigenous, they make it like actually fresh and doesn't feel like it's forced or
Mhm.
like Lawrence of Arabia 2.0 or something, but it feels like it has the same story arc, and it's done in such a beautiful way. I really hope that the Tuscans aren't dead.
And I
Sean,
really hope that
let me
somebody
ask
just
you,
just showed
That'd be so
James
dumb.
Cameron.
Yeah,
Well,
I kind of
exactly.
wanted to just go off that point. Sean, how do you feel like? Do you feel like the slaughter of the Tuscans was too soon? Like, do you wish that kind of happened later? I know there's been a lot of discourse about that certain thing, and like a lot of rightfully so. That there's certain tropes that have been hit with the show. Like, how do you feel with that certain character beat, their story beat?
Yeah, too soon for sure. Because if it's really over, then that means no Cobb Vanth, and I want Cobb Vanth in the show very badly. And I think him tracking Din, as well would be an interesting story arc. Overall, like the whole Tusken, I think they could have, that scene could have been in maybe chapter 5 or chapter 5 would be a good time to place it. And then you could have, when Din comes in the show eventually, you can have the Din flashbacks and Cobb Vanth and everything. But if it's over, that'd be weird. I don't know. It seems out of place, that he's fully healed already. I don't know. Maybe he's injured again and he has to go back to the back to tank. Like he stubs his toe, to go back to the back to tank or some shit.
Stubs his toe. Sanson gets it.
Which, by the way, speaking, I want to plug Charlie's pod. I don't think I've laughed harder than when Claire described the fight between Black Chrysanthemum and Boba Fett as lubed up and fighting a bear. Star Wars is gay, actually.
Nothing that she said was inaccurate.
It wasn't. No,
That's
like
what's
it's
beautiful about it. Yeah,
I know.
I love when Star Wars is lube.
It's cinema.
I love
when Star Wars
Star
is
Wars.
Trey, I love when Star Wars is lube.
why it's perfect is because we're dorks, and so we're like, yeah, obviously it's back to Jews, whatever. But then when she says
It is.
a looped up Boba Fett, your mind time stops. Your mind is focusing on Tamora basically in the big diaper, looped up.
You're focusing on the robot chicken ending where like he's in his diaper and he's dancing around Jabba's palace. Yeah.
You're like, this is someone's kink, and they're very happy. And do you know what?
Mm-hmm.
Good for them, really. Honestly, just so
Strong.
good.
Strong.
Yeah. Well, Alden, have you talked about what your favorite part has been so far?
No, but I can give you a two quick double headers because one is easy. It's every single moment that Drash is on my screen. For
Yes.
a myriad of reasons. I am all about goth girlfriends, and from the moment she was in the TV spot, I was immediately in. It's the same thing like when I was playing Fallen Order and Marin showed up. Like I was like, oh, step aside, everyone else. Like here's my new favorite character in the game,
Sophie Thatcher.
Yeah.
Dear Maria, count me in plays in the background.
Yeah,
Oh,
I mean, it's just
Don't bring that. Oh,
it's
yeah.
it's just.
I got your picture. I'm going with you.
So
that
she's,
gift though that someone got of her, like the shot where she's looking down at
It's the down shot, for
major
sure.
domo. That is the best.
Yeah,
Like,
that's the shot.
they made
Listen,
me
I'm in
want
love.
to be the major domo. Like, come
My-
crash your bike on me. Like,
yeah. Please.
My
crash-
mother is in the
crash
next
my
room,
car.
but please step on me.
no,
Yeah,
absolutely.
Respectfully.
Respectfully,
of
step
course.
on me.
Or stab me with your vibro shank, like whatever
Exactly.
was going on there.
No, I
But
wanted
she's
to just-
awesome, and I love the back and forth with Boba and like the class stuff that's going on, and how Boba is like basically like Jared, you know, on Nerd Academy is calling him Comrade Boba. Like he shows up, he settles the water price gouging, he gives jobs, he's Bernie Fett. He's settling it all. He's settling everything.
Bernie Fett.
I just love that so much. I love that she's like, there is no work, old man. And then instead of it being like a tired like these kids, he's like, no, I like these kids. It's like they're scrappy. Like
Come work for me.
respect it.
The 1% of 1% of Mos Espa are not. You know,
Look,
that's my bird.
I have one
the
criticism
cartel-
against.
Go ahead, Charlie.
You may
I have
speak.
one criticism against that criticism that some people have been making.
One criticism against that criticism.
People have been saying that now Boba Fett is woke and that he cares about like workers' rights. He has cared about workers' rights since Empire Strikes Back, baby. The whole speech he says about we'll make sure you and when Vader goes, we'll make sure that you get get your money back,
properly
get compensated.
Yeah.
Charlie,
He's like, look, listen, I'm a freelancer,
Thanks,
baby.
Noah.
Charlie, that is a Republican / Tory talking point, and you know better than that.
It's not. He's Labor man.
He's a Jeremy
He's-
Corbyn and Boba have a lot in common, actually.
Boba
Yeah,
Fett
he's saying,
is-
look,
yeah.
I'm a freelancer, baby. I've put time. This is paid. This is time I've tracked Han Solo. Okay, that's a few days of
See,
tracking
what
this
people don't
douchebag.
realize is that like the guild that Grief Karga heads up, like Boba wrote the charter for the guild. Like he's a
Absolutely.
union man.
Yeah.
Like,
He's like, look,
Boba said unification.
you have to remember.
Yeah.
The whole thing was Boba Fett goes, okay, I catch Han Solo, I take him back to Jabba, and then Darth Vader out of nowhere, like every typical boss, goes, 1 second, here's an idea. What if we freeze him in carbonite? And Boba Fett's like, well, that's a bit. Why? He goes, because I want to trap my son. He goes, okay. He goes, Han might die, and Boba Fett's look. If he dies, I'm going to get less money for this, baby. So you better compensate me because I've been doing all this work, okay?
100%.
So he's been like this for years, and I just,
That's
Good
like
for
that's
him.
literally
Yeah, that's
me.
true.
That's literally
Yeah, good
me
for
when
him.
my boss texted me today, like 32 minutes. Not that I was counting after work was done for the day with a question, and I was like, "I'm putting the time it takes me to answer you down on my hours, okay? All right.
Listen.
These are hard times.
If you text me after work hours about work, I am not responding. Or if I do respond, it's, oh man, that's crazy. You know, like,
Oh,
I
sucks, man.
I turned
it.
into Boba Fett.
That's tough.
I turned
It's
into
tough.
Boba Fett from The Rescue, and he's like, "Mine might be the last one you hear." Like with that level of done.
Easy.
Say
to-
all that is
easy.
great, and then I will say new favorite moment that I've been thinking about a lot, and I thought about it last night. And for people that listen to Nerd Academy, that's going to be coming out this weekend with our friends Jared, Spencer, there, the whole idea of the scars on the inside, which seems like such a you could say it before Fennec even says it, like you're fully healed, but what about the scars on the inside? It's such an on the nose like line, but you have to keep in mind who's watching this. For some 5-year-old watching this show, 5 to maybe age 9, that is like Yoda being like Luke saying, "What's in there? Only what you take with you." That is a line that will stay with some kid. Like scars on the inside. Like kids don't know about.
there's
that
also
type
like
of
some.
stuff.
There's also
Spell
like
us
some
something
40,
sharp.
There's also some like 30-year-olds. I think we know that probably need that as well on Twitter.
Truly.
Oh,
Like-
not me. I was going to raise my hand, but no, not that version
If I
of
could
it.
possibly gym face any harder.
Oh my God, Jerry, did you make a point? I can't remember.
I love Danny Trejo. I think that was
Okay.
my point.
Danny
Yeah.
Trejo.
I haven't-
Okay.
this is
But
my
this
favorite
is great.
episode.
And
Also,
you know,
woke Boba. All for
woke
woke
Boba.
Just saying.
Hashtag woke Boba.
Anyone who
woke
uses the
fuck.
word woke unironically is a hack. Like,
No,
like none of us actually use that word. It's like, oh, Boba's woke. That's in like a negative connotation.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you
well,
something.
I can't stand it.
I awoke this morning. But that's about
well,
like,
you're a hack.
Here we go.
Tell me.
Yeah, I know.
You don't mean the type of
You're
Jedi.
the hack.
friggin'
Jedi.
hack. Getting up in the mornings. What the hell,
I got
man?
listen.
I got the
Alden,
Dark Knight
Oh,
Joker
damn.
angle.
This is going on Twitter.
People will die. No, I want you all to know that if you think that anything from Rebels when new canon started all the way to now is woke, you don't get it. You don't get Star Wars. Star Wars is outside of maybe Trek, which has like always been the progressive bastion of sci-fi fantasy. Star Wars, like I use this example all the time. Newt Gunray is Newt Gingrich. It's not subtle. It has always been anti-conservative, anti-fascist. It is Antifa. It's pro-environment. The Ewoks are a anti-American statement about American imperialism. Like, it has never, ever been subtle about anything. And we
They're
go
called
from
stormtroopers.
yeah, literally the Empire has the same colors as the Third Reich, and they have actual stormtroopers. We go back to Leia, who revolutionized obviously the place of women in sci-fi fantasy, and then quickly followed up by Ripley and Sarah Connor and these other characters, all the way up to when Rey is facing down against Palpatine. It's this old crusty white man that refuses to die, and his final end game is, if you're not going to give in, then I'm just going to control your body, not via with legislation, but with dark magic. But it is essentially that parallel. And so for people to act like him caring about these street criminals, these rapscallions, is some reach. It's just mind-blowing to me. Utterly mind-blowing.
And no, this kind of, leads perfectly into where I want to go to next. It's kind of the discourse kind of around the biker gang, the rebellious teenagers, and the stupid discourse around the mopeds.
It's interesting that you call it that, discourse. For me, it's just lack of culture.
Yeah, and I think
media
discourse.
literacy.
Yeah, it just. When episode 3 episode 3 of Book of Boba Fett came out, and there's not a single, like, they showed the mopeds, and there's like they said something like there's not a single ounce of Star Wars in it.
Oh my god!
I thought that was so freaking stupid.
That was funny. Like, I didn't
Because,
get mad. I
like,
just laughed.
Here's the thing. Here's the thing. It's a Star Wars show. Therefore, anything that's in it is effing Star Wars. So like, it's so stupid. Like,
Trey has got a really great point of view on it, which is exactly
as
so
I
stupid. There's not even point even feeling anything about it.
I'm just so tired of, as I said on Twitter, people that couldn't pass a high school English class are telling me what feels like Star Wars, or are telling me what's good storytelling. Luke, it's beyond anything that I can even explain, and it just like I think.
Sorry,
go ahead, Trey. No, you go.
It's so American, like, graffiti, that it's obvious, but I feel like I feel like a lot of people didn't understand that, and that it's literally an homage to George Lucas.
And it's
like
it's straight up like mod culture and from the UK.
If George Lucas watched this episode, he'd be like, "That's my favorite thing I've ever watched."
This is 100% going to be his most favorite. Yeah,
this gang of kids and peyote up the node lizard are the two things that he would be like, good job.
I wish I thought of that.
Absolutely.
Like, he just, like, everything about it, and like Charlie bringing up the mod culture. What cracks me up is that probably the most on the nose Star Wars naming instance since Savage Oppress is taking the word modifications and shortening it just so you can use the word mod in the show.
And also because it's a nod to the mods,
The actual
in
mods, yeah.
the UK, which I don't know if you know, like it's like a countercultural thing, and a lot of the things they would do is ride Vespers, colourful Vespers, which spoiler alert, that's what they do. And what was funny
Bill
was
and
I was
I
like,
recorded a
this is pretty
podcast
much-
when I was living in Italy, and you could hear a Vespa in it. So we
that's-
are the original Vespa gang.
That's true. And
Yeah.
and you know
There you
what's
go.
what I love so much about like, and I don't want to talk about the discourse anymore because I feel like y'all said it.
There's no
What-
need
what's-
for negativity.
Exactly. What's funny to me is that like I originally watched that episode by myself, and then I went and watched it with some friends a day or two later. And what like is so funny to me is like how actually like slow that entire chase sequence is. It's like it's comically like just slow and fun. Like it's obviously meant to be. It's meant to be fun. Like it's
can
not
criticize that. Like you can criticize.
No, and
like,
even
the way
like
it
I
was
like
shot
that.
or
Like
the action, but just the fact that there are Vespas, I feel like that is a pretty like that is not negotiable. But if you want to like criticize the way it was shot or the action, like that's fair game to me.
Directorially, pacing, staging, all that
Yeah.
stuff. But
I think it works.
For-
I
for-
really do think it works.
when
But
it
you
comes
guys
to
think
the
about, like,
guns, is the obvious
Tatooine?
place to go.
What do you guys think about its place on Tatooine? Like, people say it would be better on Coruscant or
well,
something like that.
someone made a really good point
Yes.
about Cuba. Like Cuba in the
Heard of it.
60s
Oh,
and
yeah, yeah.
70s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You get all those bright coloured cars and bikes compared to the sort of the beigey colours elsewhere. Like in the background, the
No,
houses. and
it's
stuff.
true. And the thing about mod culture is that mod and its connections to punk. This is my new thing that I'm going to be preaching about for this whole season. I feel is
Preach
that punk rock and all of its subsets and connective cultures are not a unified aesthetic. The only thing that unifies them is that they are not the aesthetic. So what is punk on Tatooine versus Tatooine's aesthetic would be this. Punk on Coruscant would not be this. Punk on Coruscant would be someone showing up muddy, gross, brown, with grease on their face, someone who would fit on Tatooine. Imagine that. Punk is always anti wherever you are. So that's why you end up with like people with really conservative parents sometimes end up pretty rock and roll, but sometimes people with very loose and liberal parents end up reverse rebelling and becoming more of a conservative child.
And
so
also,
it does not track to say it should have been Coruscant.
Yeah.
It's like then it wouldn't be this.
And a lot of pop culture comes from working class background. And
Yes.
I saw a lot of people arguing like, how comes these people can afford a bike and they can afford modifications, but they can't afford water? Because that's how like messed up this
It's like when people shit
Tatooine
talk
is.
like homeless
Because
people
they bought a
driving
bike and
driving a phone.
modifications. They can't
Yeah,
afford the
cheaper
water
to get.
anymore. Yeah.
It's cheaper
No,
to get a
that
rubber
homeless
arm
guy
than
had a
Apple
touchscreen
stuff.
phone. Clearly something's up. And also, I don't know if they know, Tatooine is made up. If you know that we don't need to go out into the sands and farm water in the real world.
Sons of Tatooine.
You're not supposed to pull out the
Tatooine.
trump card this early and just like it's fake,
Tatooine.
man. Look, come on.
The fake
It's
in
fake
space,
and in space.
too
Like
early for the fake
It's
in
for
space.
I also
kids.
think Luke Skywalker totally would have been part of the Vespa gang if he was like friends with them.
Oh, dude.
And we
Oh,
know he
Biggs
was
would
Star
have been in the
Wars,
gang,
so-
and I feel like Luke would have wanted to be.
Yeah.
Would have had the
started that.
shiniest boots.
Like
The
that,
shiniest boots.
Mos Espa
Okay.
or
he
Tosche
did, he
Station
wasn't
before
looking to
then,
the
right?
Twin Sons because he wanted to join and fight against the
the
Empire.
gang.
He wanted to join a Vespa gang. Like that's what he
Oh my
wanted.
God, could you guys? I feel like Alex Damon's head is going to explode wherever he is. Biggs on a bike that is the yellow and black checker print. Oh man, it'd be so.
With
good.
That's
his
so
mustache
awesome.
just going in the
Yeah.
wind.
I like the idea of Luke just being like, Uncle Owen, I want to listen to Star Wars Daft Punk in the modification bar, please.
Oh yeah, the
Well, what's
music
great
in,
is that we know that Rec
yeah.
Punk is.
I want to listen to
canon.
Don FM.
it's in
the-
it's in the episode.
on FM.
Higher Punk. Yeah, the
That's what I
Rec
was
Punk
thinking.
and the parlor.
Mhm.
I want to believe in my heart that the music in the parlor is the music in the High Republic.
I also just want to give a
So
shout
the
out
same
to
girl.
the artist known as Thundercat. He was
Yeah.
he was
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
he
Guy
was
in the mods, right?
Fennec. Yeah, he
The
was Fennec's doctor.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And like that's I don't love
Hey,
Thundercat. I like
can-
Thundercat a lot, but
Trey, can you do me a favor? Can you bring up that? Okay, listen. Sometimes there is a comment that is
I'm
so
with,
stupid.
I'm with Nick on
There,
this.
listen, you do not come into my dojo.
Oh boy,
I've been watching a lot of Cobra Kai recently.
my dojo.
You come into this dojo and talk shit about my University of Kentucky Wildcats. Here's the thing.
Oh, is that what's going on? Sorry, I'm gone.
Matt Murdock is
I was
gone.
gonna play
Bill
it
is
off.
here.
Oh shit, the
You come
glasses
in-
came off.
You come into my dojo and talk shit about Kentucky. I will come down to wherever in Alabama you were, where you live. You were in the Wonder Years, okay? Big deal. You know what? Kentucky is going to beat the shit out of Auburn tomorrow. Here's the thing. That's what's
This is
going to
American
happen.
sports, Charlie. By the
I
way,
will tell you right
Okay,
now,
thank you.
Nick. You ain't
I'm
shit.
Trey,
This
you
is
should go
3
to
drinks
USC
in, Bill.
Trojans game with me.
What'd you say, Sean?
You should go to the Trojans game with me sometime, man.
Trojans. All I know
Yeah.
is my Buccaneers are going to beat your Rams, but that's all.
Anyway, I'm sorry.
Anyways, back with Boba.
You embarrassed
Also,
me
actually-
in front of Vanessa.
I'm just listening to my rec punk. Okay, that's all I'm
Please.
doing here.
In the spirit.
Build Wilson Fisk and
Christmas.
Matt Murdock. God damn.
Charlie, you came on my podcast in front of Vanessa.
I just love. I like the idea that he always
Every
comes
single
up with
thing. Yeah.
his excuse.
Every
is just
fist
Christmas.
Right.
Earlier today, Charlie and I were texting each other, and we often slip into the voice messages and the voice message impressions. And I did a Disney Plus ad like as Fisk, like
Yeah, he did.
for $7.99, you can consume all the stories, some of which now feature Wilson.
And I said-
Elmore.
And I went.
I'm going to allow it.
Please, in the spirit of March Madness.
In the
spirit of Boba
Grand
Fett.
Well, that was
Symphony.
important.
I will allow it.
In the spirit of Christmas is one of my favorite MCU
Star
lines.
Wars.
In the spirit of Christmas.
Stupid.
This episode is amazing. This is a fun time.
All right. Well, in the spirit of Boba Fett, I want to bring up something that my good our Trey, Reagan. Reagan brought up a point to me the other day. Given the talking about Fennec Shand, and this is the quote from her. The only person when Boba saves Fennec, the only person that does not overtly agree to take Boba's proposition to not turn against him for money is Fennec. I mean, I keep saying she came in so late in the fight with Black Chrysanthemum. Do you guys think a betrayal is possible from her?
Okay, so I guess Reagan messaged everyone that she knows about this because she also messaged me about Fennec
Jen
betrayal.
messaged
Wait,
me.
whoa. Reagan?
Yeah.
She messaged you about this?
Yeah, why, you feeling less special? What?
Well, you
Oh.
embarrassed me. No, I'm kidding.
Embarrassed me in front of
Reagan
Reagan.
sent me a Christmas
embarrassed
card,
me in
so
front of Reagan.
I don't know about you guys.
Yeah, she messaged me with a lot of the same pieces of
Okay,
evidence.
that's
and
good. Keep
talking
going.
about
keep
how
going.
like the whole idea of doing the episode to really flesh out their bond coming right before and now here's the thing. Do I think that we really molded over like if that were to happen, because that's very typical of a gangster story. It is very on the table. See, even Jackson is the
Listen.
shit.
Clarification.
Not Reagan.
Yeah. Well,
Well, a little
it
bit
can
of
go
both.
both
Listen,
ways.
I-
There. Yeah.
I'm still not fully convinced Jackson is a real person. I've said this many times. I've known somebody who claimed to be Jackson was on Jerry's pod when we were on there.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
But I don't
It's a
don't
bit.
fully know if that was him.
But
I'm just waiting
yeah,
for him to show
the-
up now at this point. So anyway,
I
go
think
on,
that-
Alton.
Trey,
It's possible.
throw the link to him. Why? Just why not?
We need more Avengers.
Yeah.
On your left.
What, you wanted more?
I
The
did.
whole idea of betrayals and stuff. I don't think that Fennec would outright backstab him because it is the heart that brought them together. That I'll protect you with my life. I think that if it is she protects him with hers and like betrays him to say, it's what seems like a betrayal from his point of view, but that the viewers of the show will see that she was either if she was blackballed by the Pikes or something like that. Like, we'll slaughter XYZ. We'll destroy the rest of the Tuscans if you don't stab him in the back. Like something like that could emphasize both of their hearts, but puts them at odds. I could see could be very interesting. I think that, I mean, I don't know. I don't want it to happen, but there's a lot of things that are being lined up that are very classic mafia story. One of them being the whole thing of if you don't want to help, then all of you have to be neutral. And it's like, okay, those all of them, if not maybe one of them, is going to break that. Probably the Clatuinians. And
why do you say that?
Yeah, what do you mean?
Do I need to point you to the sanctuary when they slaughtered those children and took their shrimp? But yeah, I feel like, you know, to keep it
those Clatuinians. Sorry, go on.
Generalize all Clatuinians. But
yeah.
I think that someone's gonna wake up with a tauntaun head in their bed. You know?
I think that Fennec is good. I don't think that'll be the twist. I think the big mafia twist that there will be is that the entire Pike versus, but because I think what will happen is that we'll see the big fight between them, and then there'll be some sort of resolution. And I think the twist will be that the Hutts will basically getting both sides to fight each other to weaken both of each other's sides, so they could come back in and take their territory back.
Sounds like Dune to me.
Okay, so I do think that it is going to be a engineered.
I'm sorry. Like every time I hear Dune, that's the first thing that I have to every time. I'm so sorry.
Harkonnens are brutal. I think, Charlie, that you're 100% spot on, but I don't think it's the Hutts. I think it's Crimson Dawn. That's what I think. I think that the Pikes it'll be that moment of like they beat the Pike leader voiced by Phil Lamar, who's always great in everything that he does, and then he'll be like similar to how Dryden and Kira could call Maul at that stage. I think that the Pike leader will reveal like a golden ring or something, and we'll call her, and that it would be that level up either for season 2 or for the final episode or something.
I hope they make Kira into a Bond villain.
Like
you just see her like a chair.
Yeah.
And she presses a button and then the Pike leader falls into like some sort of fish.
I kind of want to transition to
laser beams on their head.
Obviously, like at the end of this episode, we, spoiler alert, heard Din Djarin's theme. Sean, what did you think of that theme, and kind of like what characters or character are you expecting to kind of show up in this last 3 episodes?
I want my Daddy Din with his Darksaber.
Daddy Din, baby.
Daddy Din.
I want that supposed new ship or whatever. I haven't looked into the leaks or rumors about it, but I've heard some things. Razor Crest 2.0, whatever it may be. Definitely I mean, it would be cool if the Night Owls were in there as well. It would be cool. It would be out of place, but it would be cool. I just really want the families to unite and Din to be there to support Boba, and then a mention of Black Sun. Yeah, and then a Black Sun mention maybe, and then all I care about is Crimson Dawn. Exactly right, Crimson Dawn and Kira. That's stretching, but who knows?
That beautiful boy.
There he is.
I mean, I know what Din's ship's going to look like now. What his new ship's going to look like. It's just going to be a space moped with like a bubble. That's all
I'm very interested.
Now a little back seat for his son.
Like a sidecar.
Have we heard what the rumor is that he'll be showing up in?
I don't want to talk about this.
Okay, that's fine.
I know it, but I don't want to blow it.
Okay, that's fine. No worries.
I already said Space Vespa. Yeah.
I will say though that for those that know, it's Alden's favorite ship. That's your clue.
Right, I'm gonna
bet. Yeah. Good night.
What time is it over in the United Kingdom right now, Charlie?
It's time for a new scoop, baby.
Okay, well then scoop away.
Well, if I wasn't Leaker, I'd just say every fucking character is in this show.
Mr. Dengar.
Mr. Dengar.
It's the fucking robot chicken toilet that he had. I don't know why I'm bringing up robot chicken so much.
No, I mean it's eternally relevant, especially
it's always
for the show. Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I think that to Sean's point, Din obviously for sure, but who comes with him? I could see it being like, we go to Din because they do make it sound like it's going to be more than one person. Be that Din and maybe the covert that he couldn't find in season 2, Armorer and Paz and them. But if it's Din and he's like, well, I'm busy helping out Bo, then maybe it could be like
my Bo.
What if we?
I don't think he is.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking maybe it's like a strike a deal thing. Like,
could we get Sabine?
We'll help you with this crime war that you're in, but then we need your crime war resources to help us take back Mandalore.
I don't think that. I don't think Din will need any convincing, because I think that from everything that I've gotten about season 3, I think that Bo and Din are going to be at odds. So, like, I don't think that Din's going to be necessarily wanting to help
until they're
Bo.
I think Beskar.
Well, what does that sound like? It's like a.
It's just the armor's banging.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, the armor just bangs.
It just bangs.
I think you're both right. I spoke to all of them as well. Like, I think you're right. Where there is going to be like a discord between Bo and Mando. But the reason why I think that as well is because of what we talked about earlier, which is the fact that the Mandalorians, the core Mandalorians who've been in charge, who keep messing.
That would be a fun grip. I love the phrase "fun grip."
Where are you from, Charlie? You down in Biloxi? Is that where you from? Biloxi. You ever
For
from
those
there?
of you listening on audio, Podcast of the Wills suggested that Charlie is possibly just from Mississippi and not Britain. So
he's from Jackson.
Nick
he's
is
from
wild,
Starkville.
and he gets on TV and just loses his mind. But
I'm from wherever Oscar Isaac's from in Moon Knight. I keep having dreams. What was I saying? Oh, I feel like there's going to be a big sort of divide between the Mandalorians that grew up with that culture, because if you watch the way that Bo acts with not only just Boba but also Din, which is like, you're a cultist, like you guys are weirdos, and the way, like the foundlings are kind of like not proper Mandalorians in their eyes, and I think that there has to be a big sort of fight between themselves before they have to go, look, we are Mandalorians. And Boba Fett I think what will happen is there's going to be a really emotional arc at the end of this Mandalorian arc where they actually say, no, Boba, you are a Mandalorian, and he finally gets to like accept that part of himself.
Because fuck Olmec. Fuck
absolutely.
Olmec.
Yeah. Like, why does everyone believe that douchebag? And I think we will get to see a Siege of Mandalore Part 2. I feel like that's going to be the big colliding. Whether Thrawn gets involved with that, and that's going to be like a major power struggle point.
Olmec was the prime minister, and as you can probably tell from the British prime minister of the last 2 to 3 years, they never lie. They never.
Yeah,
that's true.
Never.
Boba Fett was hold on.
Beef buffalo. Yes.
What? I was gonna say, why does his hair always look like he just got out of a bale of hay? Like, because he just woke up out of
do you want the truth? He does that on purpose. I've been in the same room as him.
This is off topic, but my boss was talking about him the other day, so I looked up his like full name, Boris Johnson's full name. Do you guys know what his full name is?
Oh,
shithead
used to know this because it's really ridiculous.
Alexander Boris de Fluffle Johnson.
De Fluffle
Johnson.
De Fluffle is like a breakfast food.
He's a direct descendant of George II. Which is because everyone in the aristocracy.
Which is why when he like shovels his hair, it's just so like.
I've been in the same room as him. He does that on purpose.
That's so stupid.
I've been in the same room as Bill. He also does that.
That's. I am not the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom, though.
You're the Prime Minister of Galaxy's Edge that one day.
Can you listen? Awfully confident.
Keep it in the DMs, Nick.
This is listen. You have to do my Monty Python, this is getting too silly now. Stop the sketch.
Stop the sketch.
Stop the count.
Come on.
Stop the cap.
Come on.
We have gone off the rails. Is
Okay.
Leanne talking?
No, this is my sister now.
Okay.
The
The whole Sheehy family is in this
whole
podcast
Sheehy
tonight.
family is
Leanne
here.
Jr.
That's actually Anne.
Ah.
All right.
Makes sense.
So I think we've kind of reached the end of our conversation on these on the Book of Boba Fett today. Let's kind of end where we would rate these two episodes from on a scale from 1 to 10. Sean, where would you rate this? What's what number would you give them?
Chapter 3, I'd go for 8 out of 10. I loved it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not crazy, but just the chase. I love the bikes and everything. It's just a little bit too slow. But the pacing within the Tusken Raider tribe stuff was great. But I'm also not a fan of how they're going so early. If they leave early in the show, that's kind of an issue.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I love that episode. It was paced perfectly. Chapter 4 is like a 10 out of 10 for me. It's like peak Star Wars, honestly. I love everything about it. It had everything. Same with Chapter 2.
Awesome. Charlie,
Yeah.
what about you?
Yeah, episode 3, I would have given it an 8 as well. I think it's my least favorite episode, but still really enjoyable. I think my only biggest criticism was the pacing of the episode.
Mhm.
Because we had such a bit of a longer time to delve into episode 2. I felt like the emotional hits just didn't hit me as hard. Like, even though I was sad that the Tuskens were killed, it was still a bit confusing for me. Like, originally I was like, is this the same tribe? Is this a different tribe? Like, it wasn't until I saw them throw the sticks and stuff in. So I felt like it was a bit too rushed on that.
Happened way too fast, yeah.
But I think I thought it was really good. I thought the chasing, for me personally, I liked it because it felt very Rodriguez. It felt very Spy Kids, and I love that.
Yeah.
And I feel like if you're going to get a director in with a bit of style, let them have his style. But episode 4 is actually, I think, my favorite episode so far.
Yeah.
Really loved the way they delved. I loved the fact, in one sequence, we had a Clone Wars droid in live action next to classic stop motion droids moving. It just felt so great. And if you know me, I love Slave One, so seeing that back was so good. Or the fire spray gunship.
Well, technically, it's the class. Fire spray is a class of gunship. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Sean's such a nerd.
Now that you mentioned that, Charlie, like that just, and I hate saying it, the conversation around that whole thing is stupid, right? Like people being
when
mad
Jango
about that.
Fett stole the ship in Uvo 4 in the 2002 game.
When has he ever said Slave One?
Exactly.
One
It
time.
just seems like we're
I think
I will go to my ship, Slave One, and bring Han Solo to Jabba.
it just seems getting mad about a ship that's called Slave One in 2022 just completely
If I may,
Go ahead,
I may
Chief.
for
Go
a
ahead.
moment. The thing about it,
That's why I
is
call my booty.
there's like 6
After hours
angles.
in the UK.
There's like 6 angles to approach this from, of varying degrees of stupidity and
I just thought it was
like-
interesting.
oh no, for sure. But like politically, marketing wise, like I get the argument of well, if my child wants to buy a shirt with the the schematics of Boba's ship, like probably better that it doesn't say slave. It's different with Anakin saying I'm a person. My name's Anakin. Like it gives you the context. Different with merch and things like that. I will say though that every sub argument aside, the only reason it's a talking point is for the same reason why all these things become talking points, and that's because it's a grift.
Mhm.
It's just a conservative grift. They're not mad about this. They're not mad.
It's a way to make money.
Yeah,
talk about this thing.
nobody is mad about this. No one is losing any sleep over it. They don't have beliefs. They don't understand this, and so they're going to choose something to unify around as a point. And
Jerry,
this happens to be the thing.
Well, what do you think? You've been kind of we haven't really gotten to you in the past few minutes. What do you think?
about the fire spray, Slave One.
Yeah, just a quick fire spray thought.
Django's
Charlie is
Django's good boy
he's showing
machine.
his fire spray right now, which can be interpreted a few ways, but
Yes. Yeah, very
Well, that's what we
excellent,
usually call it.
excellent fire spray. Yes, excellent fire spray.
excellent fire spray, Charlie.
Yeah. I just always wanted him to call it, the paddy wagon or something, or just whatever, like, or we call it the Woody, the Wookiee wagon, or whatever you want to call it.
The Wookiee wagon. That's awesome.
Yeah. But I agree with everything that's been said. I have nothing any more or less eloquent, probably less, but it's a non-issue. It is what it is.
Whoa!
I gotta go.
He lives.
Oh,
I agree with everything. Wow,
Really?
Jerry.
Wow.
Hey.
Take Jerry.
You agree that they should
Boba
keep
Fett's
the
So,
name
hey.
Slave One in
So
this
I-
day and age?
I'm not taking that. Wait a minute. I just got here. Okay. So here's the thing, right? You guys have all this time. Charlie, Alden, Jerry, you guys are dishing your hot takes. I got to come on here and answer a Slave One question, and I've got to prove my existence to Bill again. Come on, that's bullshit.
Listen. We're all living in a simulation in some
a lot.
capacity. So, like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
You're asking the wrong questions though. Like Jackson, LMD or not, hologram or not, synth replicant or not. The real question would be who created Jackson just to mess with you.
No, that's true.
Who's the mastermind? That's the question.
Don't give him more homework. He still has to work on the Mashihi cut, on the Mashihi list.
Listen, I'd like to say
Do you
that
remember,
I thought,
Bill?
I'd like to say I'd thought about it since you mentioned it last time, but then I'd be lying. So, like, what?
I need you to put your mother on. I need to talk to you directly to your mother now.
Ma, come here.
It's a she.
Ah, the
Come
meatloaf.
here. Mom, come here.
Too soon.
Ma, could you fix the cable?
Mom, come here. Is she down here? Okay, my mom's not here.
You
My
reminded me
sister-
of
Would you like my
Step
You are
Brothers.
sister?
so
Oh.
lucky right now.
Mom,
You
come
okay?
here. They want to talk to you. Come here. They want to talk to you. Come,
Yeah.
Mom, come here. Mom, come seriously, come here. Come here.
So Jackson,
Come
are
here.
you mad about
Come here,
Slave
Mom.
One or not? That's what I really
Come
want to
here.
know.
Come here. Come here. Put these headphones on. Talk to the nice man.
Great.
Put these headphones on. Sit down right here.
Come on.
I won't be
Come
able
on.
to hear it.
Hi.
Go ahead and
Hello.
talk.
Hi,
to me.
Leanne.
Hi,
Miss
Leanne.
Hi,
Leanne.
guys. What's going on?
How are
Oh,
ya?
not much, just talking about fictional space bounty hunters and stuff
Back.
like that,
Oh,
How are you?
Oh, hi. Mrs. She, how are you?
I'm great. How are you?
Good. I'm sorry. I was fixing my headphones and I didn't realize you were on. I apologize.
Oh, that's okay.
You've got a lovely son.
Oh, really? Okay.
With that being said, we have some concerns. No.
Yeah,
Okay.
let's
And
talk.
what are those? Okay,
How much
let me-
time do you have right now,
Well,
Mrs. Sheehy?
how long? Well, go ahead. Go right on.
Alden,
bye.
you could take the first round. I'll be back in about 20 minutes.
Oh, okay.
Alden.
No, I love Bill. Bill and I
Yeah.
have just been getting to know each other. We've been talking a lot about life, philosophy, romance. He's gonna make a young lady very happy one day. I
Oh,
think
okay,
that
great.
young William.
Oh, that's
Um,
good. It's good
so,
to hear.
He
Isn't
told me
right,
that.
Trey?
Yeah, Trey, right?
Maybe.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Wow,
We'll see.
that's rough. He told me that I say Louisville wrong. Is that correct?
You did. It's
Louisville.
incorrect.
It's
It's Louisville.
Louisville.
Okay.
Louisville.
Yeah,
How
I'm
does- how does
sorry.
one-
I've been
How
to
does-
Kentucky before. It's Louisville.
Okay.
I don't know why. If for some reason Kentucky does that, like the city that we live in,
Yeah.
if it's Versailles, but
Oh.
Kentuckians pronounce it Versailles.
Say
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
it's
wonderful.
Just,
love
that's
that.
just the way it is. So,
wonderful.
Louisville. It's Louisville. I lived there for about 10 or 15 years, and like you all said, most people will say Louisville, but it's Louisville.
Okay.
So,
Do you have any recommendations on somebody like me trying to say that when it doesn't really come out naturally? Should I hold something
no.
in my throat or
Just
because it
grab
feels like
really tight around here.
Yeah, there
Well,
you
it-
go.
and just-
Louisville.
it feels like when you get when you,
squeeze it out like a Go-Gurt tube.
yeah,
okay?
like a
There
throat
you go.
bubble.
There you
Like
go.
a throat
That's
bubble.
good. That's a great
Thank
thing
you.
to do. So anyway,
I'm from Arkansas originally. I don't sound like it, so yeah, you got to say a lot of things like you're squeezing it out of a Go-Gurt tube
there
there,
you go.
like molasses out of a Go-Gurt tube.
Molasses.
Oh, great.
Don't look.
Hey.
Don't look behind you. That's all.
Wait,
I'm
wait,
saying.
wait.
I know. He's
Can we-
Yeah.
Can we get a full screen bill of you?
Can we get a
Full screen bill.
Yeah, full screen.
Yeah, of you.
Not you, Trey.
Give me a second.
I don't know.
I can't hear anything, but
Here.
here we go. Let me see.
All right.
Jack's-
Okay. Okay.
Jack's
Love
There you
collecting a
go.
screenshot
And screenshot. Okay.
It's
for
Okay,
future
gotcha.
use.
It's future use. Yeah, I'm gonna Photoshop you out of it, Bill.
thank
And
you.
then- and then
That's
I'll
a good- listen,
I'll keep your mom
I-
as a permanent fixture on the
When we come to visit, this better
Right.
be in a frame. Okay.
Yeah.
Trapped your mom in the
They
family.
wanted to talk to you.
Oh, that's fine. Okay.
Yeah.
That's great. I love it.
You listen, the thing is, you're not just a regular mom.
I'm a cool mom.
You're a cool mom.
I'm a cool
That's
There you
a really
go.
cool mom.
as
Do that.
demonstrated. As demonstrated.
That's right.
No.
That's right. Mama, you're the one. You're the
Oh,
best.
thank
Bye,
you.
Leanne.
Oh,
Great to talk
Bye.
to you.
You're the wonderful. You're the wonderful. All right. Hey guys.
All
What's
right.
up?
I like the way somebody.
Who was it? Who was it this guy?
No, they're all great guys.
Okay.
Oh, thank you.
boy.
But you're-
Except Jackson.
Except-
Except
What's going on here?
I'm your son.
That's why. No,
Feels like an episode of Hyperfo. What the hell? man?
but somebody came back and they were showing how to actually say Louisville.
It's
They-
Oh,
Louisville.
Louisville.
No. You squeeze your throat.
No, it's
Louisville.
Like one of these.
Louisville.
Louisville.
So I said, don't. I've lived here all my life, and you're telling me how to say.
You're not saying it correctly.
Oh, take that, Bill.
This reminds me of in Licorice
They're making
Pizza, the whole thing of
comments
it's
down
Barbara Streisand. Barbara
Barbara
Streisand.
Strikes
No.
hand.
No,
No.
Sand.
So listen, I know we're off the rails. It doesn't matter.
Were we?
Listen.
Yeah.
Did
when
you
I
kick
was-
Trey out to put Connor?
I
in?
think Trey just took himself
What
out.
the? I mean,
When I was
so
in high
no
school,
offense, no offense, Connor.
when,
You
no
just
offense.
make Connor sound like a
Our
a
stream
janitor.
has a 6-person maximum. I just found that out because I'm not paying for this shit. So I'm trying to cycle people in and out.
Wow.
Okay.
So Bill's out right now. He's got his time to shine. He's talking. No one can hear him because he he's at his
Does he
time.
know he's not in right now?
He's doing this and stuff, holding the mic to his face like he's a fucking
He's in the
radio
Phantom Zone.
broadcaster.
Hey, don't
Yeah.
swear. Mrs.
Connor,
Mrs.
what's
She's
up?
watching.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
sorry.
just missed Mrs. Sheehy.
Leanne's
sad.
with her
Out there.
friends.
She seems like
Just
a
saying,
really,
yeah.
really cool
Connor has
mom.
been out there brushing with the state of our nation today.
Yeah, well, okay, if you want to call it that.
Wait, what do you do? What did you do, Connor?
He's
So-
in DC, right? You're in DC.
So yeah, I'm
Connor's
in
been
DC.
wild
So,
today. I've gotten a lot of voice messages from him.
so yes, I do. I did
Wait,
send a lot of
Connor,
voice messages.
Can
This
I-
is a sequel
can I-
to January the 6th.
We're still
Connor,
alive,
I-
right?
Yeah, Connor, I screen recorded my favorite voice message of you. Can I play it on
Play
the
it.
on the air?
Play it.
Okay,
Is
hold
this
on.
legal?
Oh my.
Do it.
I think so.
Okay.
Do we have to
Here
have
we go.
implied oral consent or express written
If
consent?
anyone is very, very religious, I'm sorry, but this is what
Oh,
Connor
better
said.
go then.
I'm not.
Good night,
Yeah.
everybody.
Charlie.
There is no God. You all will die.
There
Is that your
is
tagline?
Oh God, you all will die.
I was actually going to ask Jackson if his drink was still there. Based on your
Oh,
face
my,
chat.
the
I'm
scotch.
so glad it's still
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
So I mentioned it the other day, and then I finally removed it today because I had to work, and the fumes were starting to like. Yeah, it's
Okay.
not good. It's not good. But
Okay.
Yes, I was
Y'all.
in DC. Today was the March for Life. I went to it
AKA a cult event.
barely because there were a few friends of mine that were there, and like no one was masked. I was like one of the only people masked there, and like I was surrounded by just people everywhere, and I'm like, I'm surrounded by idiots.
have you been put in the protocol?
No, I should probably self quarantine, but like,
You probably should.
I start my new job on Monday too, so that's fun.
Hey.
Maybe this was not good planning.
Hey, y'all, can I be serious for a second?
Yeah,
No.
let's go.
Uh-oh.
Thank you for being very sweet to my mother. She really appreciated that. That
Oh,
was
she's the
very
best.
sweet.
Aw.
I can't
She
believe
was-
I
she's-
missed that.
She's
I really-
absolutely my
really-
favorite she. I'm sorry.
Listen,
I
no,
really
I get
talked you up to
Top
it.
two, at
same,
least.
same.
Close number two. Close number two. Your
Close
sister.
number 2.
Okay, Annie, you want to come on? Annie, come here. Come here. Come on. Let's bring you on. Come on. Let's just do it. Come on. Just do it. Come here.
It
Annie,
was
they
more
said
so
you're
the other
number
way
two.
around.
So
Boof,
be number 2.
because, like,
Okay, guys.
I don't want to like derail your thing.
oh my
Hi,
god.
guys.
Oh,
Annie.
no worries. It's been gone for like 20 minutes. You're good.
Straighten up, guys.
Then you'll enter the character.
No, these are mine anyway.
All right. So Annie, it's Annie or Ann?
Annie.
It's Annie.
Annie.
Yeah, Bill
Um,
calls me
hi.
Ann. He's the only person that does that. So
Got it. So
Aw.
Annie,
Noted.
I about 5 minutes ago told your delightful mother that I think that your brother, William, will be a great husband to a lady one day. What are your thoughts?
you're full of shit. You don't know him very well, clearly.
Damn! Wrecked him. Just ended his career.
There are no rails. The rails are gone.
So
I rest my case. Someone else asked a question. Damn, Bill.
Mark the tape.
I mean, that says it all. I don't know. Like, I don't know if Bill wants to have a if he wants to have a shred of credibility going out of this or anything, like with anybody, we probably need to. I don't know.
Nah, ignore
Maybe
that.
we need to
That's
keep
all
going.
his secrets.
Hey, did you guys
Yeah.
talk about Star Wars today?
Was Bill a bedwetter?
What's Star Wars?
A little bit.
no, he wasn't.
Okay, good.
Any other questions?
Hooper?
Anything I can embarrass
I'm
him.
sorry,
any
never
more
mind,
than I
never
already
mind.
have.
Wait, did you say was he a bedwetter?
He
Jerry?
wasn't.
Oh,
Is
sorry.
he?
Present
Is he? Yeah.
Is he?
Are you now, or have you ever been a bedwetter?
Right.
No, I
Okay.
wouldn't do that to him.
What's the worst story you can tell us?
Oh,
about?
that's not a no. I'm just
Could you
saying.
do us the
Most
favor? He can't hear us, right? He can't hear
Right.
us, right?
Right.
What's the most
Can you do us a
embarrassing
favor
story?
and put his hand into a bowl of warm water tonight?
Sure, I absolutely can do that for you.
I mean, I don't know if he can see me pantomiming.
He has
Putting his
no idea what
hand-
you're
He's gonna be
saying.
like, "What the hell is
Right,
this?"
right,
You know?
right.
Mhm.
Right, but and then maybe something will happen. I don't know. You know, that's it worked.
Can we
in
just
college.
can we make it sound like we're asking a really personal question and you answer it? So it seems like
Yeah, you
It's
should.
very
You should
serious.
okay. We're gonna feed her lines like in Practical Jokes.
yeah, exactly.
I know where
yeah.
your head is at.
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
so
Okay.
I
All right,
want
so-
you to say, well, I don't think she really appreciated him for who he was.
Well, I mean, honestly, I don't think she really appreciated him for who he really was.
Yeah,
So
that's
Oh,
yeah,
wow.
that's probably right. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
But
talking about?
But, okay, now you have to say, but he deserved it. But he deserved it.
it's like, but if I'm being really honest and truthful with you all and with myself, he deserved it.
Yeah, that's true.
Dude,
That's true.
first of all, Annie's fucking sick at this game.
I
She's
love
just
it. I
adding-
love you,
she's
Annie.
adding so much
Yeah.
flair.
Annie, you can replace Bill and hang with us anytime.
Anytime, any day.
Huh?
He's gonna watch the replay of this and just,
Right.
just be full of so much.
Can
hate.
you say? But they never found any evidence, so it's fine.
But I mean, they didn't find any evidence ever. So
Well, that's
like,
good.
it's
That's
totally
good.
good. He's
Yeah.
fine.
That's
like,
good, guys.
You're all
Right?
good.
That's good.
So
That's good, guys. Yeah, that's
Mm.
good, guys.
Awesome.
You say he could have passed as a minor anyway.
They won't
Yeah.
find the body.
I mean,
Probably
he
good.
could have passed as a
Just,
minor
you know.
either way, but
Whoa,
No,
Jesus!
that's good. That's
Whoa!
Oh.
They would
Wow.
have charged him the full sentence.
they would
Now,
have
I want you to-
charged him
yeah.
the full sentence and maybe a little more.
And I want you to say now. Are you in college, Annie?
I graduated in May.
You graduated.
Congrats.
Well, congratulations.
Thank
Congrats.
you.
Okay. Say now that I'm done with college, I'm thinking about experimenting a little bit too.
But now that I'm done with college,
What the?
I am thinking about experimenting a little bit too.
Wow.
So yeah, stay tuned.
Hey, all right. I got one last one. I think. As far as I know, there is no extradition treaty with Costa Rica.
I have one too, so go ahead.
It's just on your left. Everywhere.
As far as I know, there is no extradition treaty with Costa Rica. So
That's
We're
good.
all
That's
good
All right,
there.
Annie,
great.
Annie,
That's great.
Annie,
That's
this one's maybe the most important of the night.
okay.
You have to say, no, I'm definitely pulling for Auburn tomorrow against Kentucky.
Oh,
Please.
you pushed her. You pushed her too far.
That
She needs a place to
Come
sleep.
on, Nick.
come on.
Say it
The
again.
big one. I'm definitely pulling for Auburn tomorrow against Kentucky.
But I mean, I'm definitely pulling for Auburn tomorrow against Kentucky.
You get out of here. You are a graduate of the University of Kentucky.
Listen, I'm taking this over.
With a
This
degree
is,
in theater, that's
this
why
is
I'm so
this
good
is
at
over.
this.
This is over. Nick, I don't.
Money well
listen,
spent.
I know
Money
my
well
time.
spent
I know
out
my
here
time when I
trying to
feel.
betray me in
I
this
can't hear
chat.
what they're saying
You've
to me.
turned my sister
they-
against me.
They like me more than you, anyways.
Well, that's join the club. Like that's like everything. Like that's what. Who do you think you are? I am. That's the thing.
Who do you think?
The best part is he still can't hear anything we're saying.
I know, right?
Yeah.
He's gonna have to.
He
watch
thinks
the
he's in
episode on
control,
replay.
but
Yeah.
Bill, I'm the captain now.
Hey, Trey, time to work up a new T-shirt design. Get rid of Bill.
Yeah.
Oh,
Bye.
yeah.
There are so many people on the stream right now that I guess I don't pay for StreamYard, so I can't fit us all on. So I'm like trying to figure out who I want to like take off and put
I'm
on.
going to gracefully bow.
I'll remove
out.
Jerry.
Yeah, I've got to go as well. But
I'll free
I
up a slot.
Okay, I'll remove.
I have
all-
no
all-
idea what
Thank
anybody
you so much
just
for coming
said.
on. This is
And,
the
like,
best episode
I am
ever.
like, listen. I know that the
we have
show.
Friday night episodes every.
Oh,
This
so-
is-
wait. So Bill,
every
like, do you
other
have
week.
any idea what was just happening before? I
No,
go?
God, no. I have zero
Okay,
idea what
you
was
need
just said.
to skip to when Annie is on.
Yep.
And watch what just happened because it might. It honestly like might be the best moment this community has had in a long time.
The best moment this community has ever had is what
Ever.
I'm hearing
Ever.
in
Say-
this
it's
chat.
saying something.
Like,
Yeah.
you owe me a Baja Blast.
Basically, 5 Star Wars podcasts just came together with a theater student and created like created art. Yeah.
Magic
It
is
was
the
art.
word you're looking for, Alden.
yeah.
Magic
Yep.
is what was
Yep.
created here.
Nick, go Cats.
Hey,
But anyway, it's
I
tomorrow.
got a
What are you
bottle,
drinking?
buddy, right
Okay.
here. This is the infinity bottle.
Oh, dude, I've tried to do the infinity bottle, but every time like I run out of bourbon, I just end up drinking that instead.
That's totally fair.
It-
Totally
it's
fair.
all good. But yeah,
Well, listen, I don't want to kill anybody's flow. I'm also going to gracefully exit because we have streaming Star Wars coming up in 20 minutes. So y'all hop over there and hang
yeah,
out with,
absolutely. If you're listening
with
to
me
this
and
live,
Pete and
go check
Patrick
them out.
Cotner.
Absolutely. Well, Nick, thank you so much for coming
What
on, bud. We
excellent
the
plug.
best.
doing it.
War
Go
Eagle.
Cats. I can't wait to get that bourbon tomorrow. Anyway, y'all, what an episode. I like truly, like this is if oh shit, Jess has entered the chat now. Great.
Yeah, we have the most people ever.
I know.
Hi, Jess.
I
I'm just
can't hear.
I'm
He's
blown
right.
away. I'm blown away. I really do appreciate y'all. Everybody in this chat right now is somebody, or everybody on this pod is somebody that I really respect and really, I love all y'all's pods. I really appreciate y'all for coming on. Oh, look, Henry, look at that.
Oh,
And listen,
He did not enjoy that. But
do we have anything else to add?
Book of Boba. Oh, Sean's here too. I forgot that John back.
Oh, Sean.
Jessica Trey's
Hold
Trey's
on,
the
her-
best.
Sean said that I'm the worst. So
Trey's my boy. I love him so much. Please take care of him. I love him so much.
Please do it.
Please just do
All
it.
right, y'all. Anything to add before we sign off for this incredible episode of Skywalking through the League?
I just want to say one thing. I guess maybe shooting the poodle on Sunday nights, 9 p.m. Eastern time, and because we're all here, I just have to say penis.
Yes.
Oh, thank you, penis.
Yes.
I'm still
Appreciate it.
waiting on my my
I think
crown drawing of what. You can't just leave when. Okay, anyway.
I
that
want
was
Connor to be able to talk for a second.
Connor, I want people to plug their stuff before we sign off. Charlie, where can the people find you on
Yes.
Twitter? And plug away, my friend.
Yeah, follow me on Twitter at CMWASHBY. Every link you can find is on my little link tree. So my own personal podcast, you can find it all there. But don't forget to follow ISP, it's the Imperial Senate podcast on Twitter at ImpSenatePod. We do a weekly show every week. Funny enough, who would have thought? Called The Bibliothèque of Boba Fett. And me and Claire are doing an episode recording of that tomorrow. So if you've got any questions for us about this week's episode of Boba Fett, please tweet us like as soon as you can. We'll be delving into that. Yeah. Also, we released a playlist based on the Drash and the mods. So I made a little playlist if you care to listen to any of those mod remixes.
What's
We've
it
got the
called?
Beatles.
What's it called, Charlie?
Drash and the Mods mix. I shared it on Twitter, on the ISP Twitter. So
That's hot.
you got David Bowie, Specials, Joan Jett, the Beatles. Check that out. It's pretty fun.
Heck yeah.
That's
Heck yeah.
it.
Charlie, thank you so much for joining us, buddy. Jerry, where can they find you, bud?
You can find me every Monday on the Bombeck S YouTube channel, talking to one of you wackos probably, and also some other people. I got Michael McCoy, who's going to be on of Trioculus fandom fame, I suppose. And then also on Thursdays on the Bombadcast, just, playing really weird clips and talking about Paul Stanley and Folgers coffee and shit like that. So yeah, come check it out.
Is it true that the best part of waking up is Folgers in your cup?
I think the best part of waking up is probably Paul would say it's him in your cup, which I don't really know. I don't want to decipher that at all. Because that kind of anyway. But yeah, I'd say it probably is. So
I got you.
Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. Thanks for joining us, bud. Sean, where can the people find you, buddy?
My @ on Twitter is right there. Connor, look at your DMs real quick.
I just saw it.
Hey, just for our podcast listeners, Sean, say it out loud if you don't mind.
Say one more time.
Say your Twitter out loud for our podcast listeners.
Daimyo Devil _Devil. I just made that because of Boba Fett.
Awesome.
Yes. Thank you guys for having me, Trey. I love you, bro.
Dude, likewise, brother. Effing best.
I love you more than Jessica.
I don't
it's
want
not
to.
a competition. We don't have to do
We got
that.
a love
should back me up
triangle
on
here.
that.
Sean and Jessica can fight. It's okay.
In the octagon. Finally, our good friend Connor Jakiti. How are you, buddy? Give us.
I'm good.
Take us out.
You can find Connor on Twitter screaming at Catholics.
The March for Lifers, if you will.
Yeah, I was in a bar close to that. And it just
Sean, you and Connor are both in DC right now.
Yeah.
I didn't know this. This is so cool.
Yeah.
Connor. Tell me something good.
They don't understand the inside jokes, Trey.
I don't know. Star Wars is cool, I guess.
True.
I still can't believe I missed the whole Mrs. Sheehy moment.
It was a moment, man. You missed Mrs. Sheehy
saw
and
that
Annie
for a
Sheehy.
second.
No, I saw Annie. I was in the stream yard. Like I wasn't in here, but like I was here.
Bill and I need to start paying for this so we can get 10 people.
That's
on at
true.
once.
We should really.
We never thought 9 people would show up.
No, we did not. we were.
I think our max was 4.
You underestimated the power of your influence.
Yeah.
But you can find me on Twitter at @DepaBanana, where I'll just be talking Star Wars, High Republic.
Catholics.
Not bad. I'm not getting that controversial.
Excuse me. Sorry.
No. You can find me talking Star Wars with Jared Bachman Stubbs at the Knights of the Nerd Republic, which is part of the Nerd Academy podcast, which is really cool. And I agree, Noah. I need to see this now. It needs to be a spin-off of Skywalking.
Leaning through the league.
Leaning through the league, babe.
Yes.
Honestly, I think we will bring my mom and Annie on shows in the future.
I feel like
That's
your
a, that's a,
mom
that's
just
a
needs to, like,
patron bonus.
yeah, like if we ever get a Patreon, your mom needs to come in, drop some knowledge for like 3 minutes, and then just leave. Like tell us how to make a really good bourbon, drink.
Listen,
Be
I make
like,
it
okay,
for
so
her all
here-
the time.
here's
So
this.
she
I'd love to speak with them.
Yeah, that would be great.
Do a
What
little
else?
spin-off.
Oh, you can find me at sweditorig.com, writing articles and stories. We have a whole fanfic universe thingy planned out, stories published and everything. It's pretty cool. We do our own thing, but we abide by the canon of Star Wars, and we don't just like, oh, let's make our own version of the prequels or the sequels just because we could. We don't do that, which is pretty cool because it allows for some really interesting stories while also fitting into
Tom
the
Brady.
Star Wars canon. So it's pretty cool. Yeah, I got some
I love
stories on the horizon. So yay.
awesome. Thank you so much, Connor. Finally, Trey, Jess, where can we find you on Twitter?
Find me on Twitter at the Trainator. Bill, you and I will be watching some basketball here soon.
Yes, we
Daddy
will.
Trey.
Jess,
Yeah.
At
Jess,
Daddy Trey.
tell me where they
Love
can.
you too,
Tell me
John.
where we can find you.
Yeah,
on
Jess.
Twitter.
How about you? You came in here.
Plug away. Plug
Oh,
whatever
yeah.
you want.
Heard the end.
At Jessica Schlof is, I think that's my name.
What's your name? Yeah.
Yeah.
At Jessica
Amazing.
Slope.
Yeah.
You are
Letterbox
wonderful.
2. Letterbox
Yeah,
2.
plug Letterbox. Plug whatever you want to plug.
Yeah. Follow me on that. It's linked in my bio on Twitter. Doesn't work always, but we'll see.
You'll
Awesome.
never take Trey from
Yeah.
me.
I just want to say, everybody that showed up on the show tonight, thank you so much for showing up. We had a wonderful
Longest
time.
episode ever.
Longest episode ever, probably our best episode ever. Thank you all so much for listening, for showing up. And as always, Godspeed, Rebels.
Godspeed.